In late December, Lithuania's Minister of National Defense, Dovilė Šakalienė, met with representatives of Swedish company BAE Systems Hägglunds to discuss the acquisition of CV90 tracked infantry fighting vehicles. I think some media sources had reported Lithuania is already buying this military equipment, but I don't think a deal has actually been signed just yet. But still, I wanted to look at Lithuania's CV90 plans for today's video. If you're looking for a tech job in Vilnius, check out today's sponsor, Sigli. There's more info at the end of this video. So according to the defense minister, having these IFVs, or infantry fighting vehicles, is important to Lithuania's national security situation. With Lithuania's goal to have a division at full operational capacity by 2030, having more infantry fighting vehicles will be an important part of the plan. The tracked infantry combat vehicles will be purchased to equip 2 mechanized battalions of Lithuania's armed forces. One defense website says that this equates to potentially buying over 100 units. Lithuania already has 2 battalions equipped with Boxer-wheeled infantry fighting vehicles, and of course many will know that the Lithuanian name for these vehicles is Vilkas, which means wolf. According to now former Defense Minister Laurynas Kasčiūnas, the decision to negotiate specifically for CV90s was driven solely by military advice, with him saying the CV90 has proven itself in Ukraine, has combat experience, and the feedback has been positive. As reported by LRT, Kasčiūnas said that the 30mm ammunition that US defense giant Northrop Grumman is planning to produce in Lithuania would be suitable for both its Vilkas and CV90s. One interesting thing I learned about Lithuania's plan for the CV90 is that it will be a joint acquisition deal. Together with Finland, Sweden, and Norway, the Lithuanian government says that the industrial cooperation model and conditions will have to be acceptable to all program participants. Therefore, negotiations are planned to be completed by the end of 2025. However, it is interesting that in early December, Denmark and Sweden had already signed a deal worth about $2.5 billion as part of a joint procurement contract with BAE Systems to acquire 205 CV90 35 Mark III Cs. So I don't know if Sweden is buying more or if there was a change in the plan, but yeah, that did happen. So while Lithuania's CV90 deal hasn't been signed, it is clear that the country's military and government have firmly decided that this is the vehicle they want to purchase when the time is right. And so, in a way, it sounds pretty certain that the deal will be signed eventually. The current defense minister says that sustainable and long-term industrial cooperation will be established and will include Lithuania in the program's supply chains and ensuring effective service and support of the CV90. And I mean, it is obvious that Lithuanian companies will want a piece of this action too. And of course, it's good politics to involve them. The hope of the defense industry in the country is that some of the CV90's maintenance work could be performed by Lithuanian companies, and some even claim that they are capable of producing metal components for these vehicles, as well as assembling them and repairing them. An old CV90 brochure even highlights this as a selling point, saying that the vehicle can have a tailored industrial setup with some local production. Here's a direct quote from that brochure. "We have developed a creative and innovative approach toward industrial cooperation, including technology transfer, marketing support, and support to small-medium enterprises, as well as our long-term cooperation with our partners present in the international market. This approach supports further export opportunities for domestic industry, increasing security of supply and contributing to national sovereignty. In other words, cooperation for long-term security." But despite all this marketing language, LRT reported that possibilities for involving Lithuanian companies in the CV90 procurement are limited and that the country can only perform primitive technical work. At least that's what one defense analyst is telling the media. Of course, it's up to the CV90's Swedish manufacturer to agree to transfer part of the contract value to Lithuanian companies. But it's obviously something Lithuanian companies really want to make happen. According to experts, CV90s could first be repaired and assembled in Lithuania. Not only would this save the Lithuanian government some money compared to having work done outside the country, but the money would also stay within the Lithuanian economy. And it wouldn't be a brand new idea either. After all, the company Lithuanian Defense Services was established in Jonava in 2022 as a way to repair German allied military equipment. Lithuanian Defense Services is also responsible for maintaining the Vilkas IFVs. Vaidas Sabaliauskas, head of the Lithuanian Defense and Security Industry Association, says that the country's metalworking industry already produces thousands of components for Western military equipment, including gears, wheels, tracks, and connecting parts, adding that 60% of those armored vehicles consist of various metal parts that can be manufactured within Lithuania. Sabaliauskas says that about a dozen Lithuanian companies could produce parts for the CV90 and about 20 more could assemble the equipment. But the tricky thing about this proposition is that a portion of CV90 production takes place in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and that these countries already have strong industries able to do the work. And that expert says these industries are not developed in Lithuania, and so the production of such combat vehicles and their components in Lithuania is hardly possible. Lithuanian defense analyst Aleksandras Matonis says, Lithuania cannot assemble diesel engines, cannot produce automatic weapons, guns, cannot produce Spike ER anti-tank missiles, which are installed on the Boxer and CV90. Lithuania has not developed electronic fire control systems, which the Czech Republic and Slovakia have developed. To be able to move production to Lithuania is a pipe dream, he says. The Lithuanian defense industry still wants to be considered for some work, and it will continue to insist that the government involve it somehow. And then to wrap things up, for those who don't already know about the CV90, here's what BAE's official website has to say. The CV90 was designed to be a vehicle that provides high tactical and strategic mobility, air defense, anti-tank capability, high survivability, and protection in any terrain or tactical environment. There are as many as 15 variants of the CV90, including but not limited to the CV90-30, CV90-35 IFV, CV90-120, which looks almost like a mini main battle tank. Then there's the CV90 Mjolnir and the CV90 APC. It does look like BAE Systems markets this vehicle as a smaller, more portable, but nearly as powerful version of a tank. A brochure from 2021 says that, at the time, over 1,300 CV90s had been sold to 7 European user nations. Weight will depend on the variant, but it can be between 20 and 37 metric tons. In terms of active service, it was in Afghanistan, and the CV90 was used by the Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian armies. It was also used in Liberia by the Swedish army. I guess the platform is so versatile and varies so much that it's kind of difficult to give more specific information, since it really depends on how vehicles are customized by each country. However, it does sound like Lithuania wants their CV90s to have 30mm cannons, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out more about how the country wants to customize those vehicles. So let me know what you think about this potential deal by leaving a comment. And this video is brought to you by Sigli. Sigli is on the hunt for talented IT and marketing experts to join their team, especially here in Lithuania. Sigli is a digital development services company with its office located in Vilnius. They're on the hunt for more people to work in sales and project management, and if you know another European language, that's even better. Check out sigli.com to learn more about their career opportunities. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.